Hi guys, welcome to another video, and so today I'm downtown in the exclusive Ginza district of Tokyo, and if you know anything about it, you know that eating here can often be so expensive that it's prohibitive. But I have a secret for you if you want to enjoy it, and that secret is lunchtime. If you come down to Ginza at lunchtime, you'll find that because they're trying to fill seats that would otherwise be empty, that you'll get amazing prices. So we've hunted down a place, it's called Tempura Abe. The guy's been making amazing tempura for over 30 years, has worked at some famous restaurants, he's got his own restaurant here, and we booked a week ago, and we still fought for the seats, but we got 4 good seats sitting at the counter. It's kakiage tempura, which is this cool shredded mix of vegetables and seafood. So good, well worth trying, and we're gonna get it for about 3,000 to 4,000 yen, whereas if you had come at dinner, you'd be looking at something closer to 9,000 yen. So this is true of so many different places. I'll put the link down in the description below if you want to check this place out. This is also Dustin's last video. I'm meeting up with the solo travel blogger himself before he goes off to India, so it's a wonderful farewell. Thanks for checking this video out. Now let's go check out this food. Yeah. So now that we've talked about the awesome, well-kept secret that is eating in Tokyo at lunchtime to save yourself around 50% on the cost of your bill, let's talk about the experience at this restaurant, because it was singular, it was unique, and it was awesome. So in some cases, when you book ahead, you get there and you realize that I didn't really need to make this reservation, but whatever, it was good to plan ahead. That was not the case at all when we went this time. When we got downstairs, out of this elevator, it was immediately apparent that booking this thing was really important, because the line went right up to where they were seating people, and I'm pretty sure that had we not booked this ahead of time, we probably would have had to cancel the video, because we were on a time limit and there was no way, for the amount of time that people were waiting, that we would have had a chance to sit down. Sometimes I'm not a big fan of sitting at the counter, but I really enjoyed sitting at the counter this time, because once I understood the sort of presentation style of the food that was going to come out, it was really cool. Like, every single portion that was coming up and to be served to you was served individually, kind of a multi-course meal basically, and so getting to watch them prepare each individual course became a whole part of the experience of eating there for lunch. So coming down in front of you, you're gonna have stuff that you don't necessarily order, but that they prepare for you anyways and will accompany the meal that you're going to have. And this was a cut above the rest, like everything else seemed to be in this meal. And that was for all the tempura that you were going to eat. There were 2 salts, not 1 salt, but 2, baller. One of them was a French salt. And the other one, which was definitely distinct, and you didn't need some sort of refined knowledge of food to see the difference that it made, was this pink plum salt. And it really was a little more sour and a little bit more tart, and kind of added something new and different to whatever it was that you were dipping it into that I've never had before. So that was really good. The menu options that you had at lunch, it was amazing here. I can't remember how many courses exactly it was, but there was a 3,000 yen option and there was a 4,000 yen option. And we, not doing this so regularly, wanted to go for the whole experience. So we went with the 4,000 yen option, and I think it ended up being something like near 10 courses that we ended up having. It was amazing. So talking about unique things that were to come out, where some of this stuff was predictable for me, the egg yolk was not, and it wasn't predictable in any way whatsoever. So when this came out, I was like, okay, I'm looking at this, it's going to be a hard-boiled egg, essentially, right? I mean, the gears are turning rustily in my head, causing sparks, and I'm thinking as soon as they put this in the oil, that would have been so much heat that it would immediately hard boil the egg. And I don't know if it's just that they're able to do it so quickly or whatever magical techniques that they're employing here, but no, it was creamy, it was rich, and it was delicious, just like a soft boiled egg would be. And it's something I've never ever tried before, where everything was a cut above all the other tempura I've had in Japan, but this was something totally different, not just better than what I'd had before in the past. moving on from the egg yolk was more things that I've tried before. For example, they had sweet potato that they were bringing out. They had ebi or shrimp that they were bringing out. They had a couple different types of vegetables. They had some different fish that they were getting us to try. Now, unique to this place, not necessarily because it's high quality, but just unique to this place that they do, I mentioned at the beginning, is kakiage tempura. And this is different because you've probably heard of the like fisherman's soup or whatever, like farmer's stew, where they take whatever vegetables or ingredients that they have as an excess in their fridge or whatever's left over from whatever you make, and you kind of like throw it all together and make use of everything in that way so nothing is wasted. And that's essentially what kakiage is for tempura, except you're not just getting by with what's available and you're happy because you're not starving on your farm. You're stoked because kakiage tastes absolutely amazing and was at the exact same level as everything else we tried there. I think actually looking back on it now, it's probably one of the things that I enjoyed most about the meal was the kakiage. It was so light and fluffy. It was seriously, it's almost hard to describe the texture of it without like going with some sort of cliche or whatever, but it was like a cloud in your mouth, a light, fluffy, crispy cloud in your mouth, and it was so good. I would go back just for that, although everything would make it worth going back to this place. So moving through all the different options that you had, it wasn't all set for you and you got to make one choice. And at some point they had, I can't remember the other one, I think it's a kind of rice in soup that you can have, or you can have what's called tendon, which is basically a bowl of rice, not souped, if that's a verb. And they would put a bunch of seafood over top of it, and that was really good. And where the only other carbs that you were having in the meal aside from this, or complex carbs, are the batter, this is kind of like your thick, stick to the walls of your stomach, make you feel full section of the meal that you got to have. And it was, well, like everything that I'm describing, really good. Maybe not my favorite of the whole meal, but it was nice to get those extra calories that were gonna carry me through the rest of the day. Finishing off the meal was a really cool twist, and that was taiyaki. And if you've seen taiyaki before, they're basically they're fish. They look like fish, and they come with all these different fillings. One of the most popular in Japan, I believe, is anko, and anko is this red bean paste, but you can get anything in them. And it's done like a waffle batter, and then they would bake the shape. But these were a cut above the rest. That's the running line for this video, in that they were baked, but then they were fried. So we got fried taiyaki at the end, and although you have these other flavors that you can have in the taiyaki, the ones that they gave us were the traditional anko, which is the red bean paste, and it was utterly delicious. Now, I am an absolute coffee fiend, and I was kind of putting off my caffeine fix before I got here. And so for them to finish this, they did, with iced coffee at the end of the meal, was a little bit unorthodox, I thought, because usually you get tea or something like that, and a godsend, because I love coffee so much. I was happy to see this at the end, and it made me so happy. And that was a great way to end it. You had the kind of sweet of the taiyaki that was deep fried, and then you had the coffee to go along with it, and both were perfect. Iced coffee, really nice. Now, with a stomach full of tempura and iced coffee, it's time to end the video. And you now know the not so secret, because it's public knowledge available on the internet now, that if you want to save money, about 50% off of your bill, and eat at the ritzier districts in Tokyo, like Ginza, you just need to book a place at lunchtime and you're gonna have a good time. So I really hope that you do, and you get to have a similar experience to something like myself, Asagi, Akina, and Dustin got to have. Lots of fun making the video. If you like it, please do thumbs it up. If you're new on the channel, definitely subscribe for more videos like this. Special shout out for that awesome guy at Solo Travel Blog, Dustin. Check out his channel. He'll be making a video, which is posted right now, for you to check out what his take on this whole thing was. And he's got a whole library of awesome, hilarious videos that you should also check out. And he's going to India, I believe we've mentioned, and so you're gonna get to see some really cool travel videos out of him as well. Don't miss his channel. Subscribe to that channel too. Amazing stuff happening over there. Miss the guy. Heartbroken. Anyways, lots more to come. Please do support me on Patreon. Put that there. Maybe put my book over here if you're looking to do some reading. Flash that up. It's gone. And yeah, many more to come. Thanks for checking this one out. Awesome community, awesome people. Thanks for taking the time. I will catch you in the next. Peace.